Hello guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to tell you how you can develop an online exam system with PHP and MySQL. So guys, before going to discuss database and code, we'll check our demo that we have already developed. So first, we will check demo. So here, first we will check the demo using the administrator login. Actually, the system can be accessed by administrator who can manage the users exams and the normal user can perform the complete the exam. So first we will log in using the administrator. So here we have our administrator login. The administrator have a exam list. The administrator can add a new exam, assign exam to users, enroll to users, and also can manage the users list of users like add new user, edit user, view the user details, can delete the user. So all these things can handled by the administrator. So now we will check the normal user login. Here is a user 2 at test. The user login can have a list of exam that assigned to him, like the current login users have a three exams. So he has completed two exams. He can view the result of exams and the one is pending. There is a button displaying start exam and have a status pending. And can also the user have can enroll that exams if available, if the exam is not taken. So like here is a fall exam, the user can enroll to this exam to complete. So this is the functionality of this online exam system. So now let's proceed with the database. So here is MySQL database exam underscore system, in which we have a seven tables. The first one is online exam underscore user, in which we are storing the user details like ID, primary, auto increment, first name, last name, gender, email, password, mobile address created, and the role, admin or user. The administrator can manage all system and the user can perform exams like assigned to exam and can complete. And then there is next table is online exam question answer, in which the details of question answers of exam is stored like here ID primary, auto increment, user ID, exam ID, question ID, user answer option marks. There is online exam question in which we are storing the exam question detail. Here is ID, exam ID, ID primary, auto increment, and the exam ID means from which exam the question relate, and question here is answer. Also online exam process. This is the table that store the exam process means the start time of exam and complete. So here is ID primary, auto increment, user ID, and exam ID means user ID who has completed the exam, the user ID and the exam ID, and the start time of the exam. And the next is exam options, like this will store the options details of our exam, like here question ID and the option. Like option means like one question have a four options. So here is title, options, question ID and ID. The online exam underscore exam. This is the main table that store the exam details. So this is a ID primary, auto increment, user ID. So the exam who one is performing the completing the exam. So that's the user ID, user exam title, exam date, time, duration of the exam, and total question, mark for right answer, mark for wrong answer it created on its status exam. These are the fields that we have used in our exam table for creating the exam. And the last one is online exam underscore enroll. This the table in which we are storing the details of the user who enrolled to the exam, like here ID primary again and auto increment, user ID, the user who which enrolled to the particular exam, and the ID of the exam, and attendance status like absent, present. So these are the tables, database tables that we are using here for our online exam system. Now, guys, we will move to the coding level. So here is actually our online exam system here. That's already we have developed, and as we will discuss with you. So here, first we will discuss the structure of our. Here we have a class in which we have a PHP class like user.php class in which we have a method implementer related to user. We have a exam.php in which we have method related to exam, and question.php class in which we have a method related to the question. Also, we have a config files in which config dir directory in which we have a database.php in which we are making the connection to the database. Here we have a function get connection and passing the login details to make a connection to the MySQL database. And also we have a CSS file. CSS files actually in this contains the CSS file like data tables and that we are jQuery data set that we are using for displaying the data. Also, we have an INC directory in which we have some common file like container.php, footer.php, header.php, and also have JS file in which we have some JavaScript file that we are needed for the im- functionality of our exams. So now let's proceed with the system. So here we will see the system. Actually, the system is accessed by the user login. So here we have a administrator login here. So first we will check the administrator here. Actually, here we have index.php in which we have a login page. So here we will check the index.php. This is a index.php. This is a login page here. So this is a login form here in which we have a input type text and input type password. So and a button, login button. So here we this is our login form. Then the login form is submitted here. Actually, also we are here including the database.php for database connection actually here. Also for user object for checking the user logged in. And if user is logged in, we are redirecting for the exam.php and also for view exam.php depend on roles. Here we are checking the login form here, and then we are getting the form post login form post values and storing the user object like email, password, login time, then call the login method here. So now we will check the actually login method here in user class. So here is our user class. This is the user class here in which we have online exam user table, and also here this is our login method that we have already implemented here, checking for the password, email, and login type, and then if login successful, then we are storing getting the login user details and storing the value to the session like user ID, role, and name. These are we are setting here and returning the 01 in log. Also, we have a method that we are checking for logged in. So here is our logged in method in which if the user is already logged in, we are return 1, otherwise return 0. So this is the functionality for our login function. This is our login form. After login, if the admin, we are redirecting the exam.php. So here we will log in using the administrator user here and redirect to the exam.php. So here we will check the exam.php file here. So this is the exam.php file here in which we are listing the exam details. So here we have a exam the PHP file. Here we have a table like exam listing. So actually exam listing is done using the jQuery in data tables. So now we will also check the JS file here exam.js. Here on exam listing ID, actually here we have exam listing. So on exam listing ID here we are initializing the data table and making Ajax equal to exam underscore action with action list exam. So we check the exam action here. Do the exam action here in which we are again creating making the database connection here and then creating the object of the class exam and calling the method list exam on action list exam. So now we will also check the exam here our exam.php. and calling the method list exam. So this is the list exam in which we have a SQL query getting the exam details, and after looping through and storing into the array, returning as a JSON data to display in jQuery data table. So this is the exam details here. We can also, the administrator can also add a new exam, can edit the exam. So these functionalities actually already here. You can see there is a model here, exam model that you to add a new exam and edit exam. So here we can say we are opening the new model from here for adding a new exam. Also for updating detail, we are loading the update model here with the exam details from here. So like when we click on here, the exam details are loaded in the exam form. And finally the exam the exam form is submission is handled here. We are handling the exam form submission here, and the values are saved according to the action. The action actually, when you did the exam, then we are setting the update exam action, and when adding the add exam. So here we can see the add exam, update exam, and calling the method insert and update. So we can see here the method this is the insert method to add a new exam here into the exam table, and the update method here in which we are updating the record. Also, administrator can delete exams. So the exam functionality is handled here. The exam functionality handled here. The Ajax request it sent to the exam again delete exam action. So the delete exam is here, and the delete method is called from the exam.php. This is the delete method. So also there is a question like can view the question here, and the question view is displayed as the question.php, and we will discuss here. So when view the question, actually the question.php called, so we can also see the question.php here. This is the question.php. Here listing the questions here like a question listing. So question listing we have a this is the question listing. Here we can manage the question like add new question, edit, delete the question. So all these functions again handled by here like question action here. Here we are checking the question actions, and also we have a question.js file in which we are in a data table and making a J request to the question action.php with action list questions, and list question is calling the list question from the question. So here we again open the class question.php in which we have a list question in which we are getting the we are making the left join query on the question exam and option table and getting the details and storing into an array and return as a JSON data that's operated here. Also, the question.php have model in which we can add new questions, delete question, edit questions. So all these functionality actually implemented here. You can see here questions is here. This is a question JS in which we are loading the new model add question, new model, new question mark for add with action add question. Also updating the question detail with the action update questions. And finally, we are submitting the form using the jQuery and handling the add and update question. So with action. So the action is sent to here like add question, update question, also delete question. So all these functional methods related to this is here like insert question details and update method. All these are implement here. Also, the delete method is implemented here in question.php. So this is the question functionalities, guys. Also, there is a user listing. The administrator can add new user and can edit the user details, delete the user. Also, all these are handled user.php actually. So we have a user.php with the user for here we have again user listing and loading the user listing with jQuery database. So here we again uh, check the user.php here, user.js file. So in which we have a jQuery data table initialized with action list user to user section. So here we have user.php and we have a user action actually. So here this is the user section. Here we have again checking have a object of user class and calling the method like list user, get user details, insert, update user, delete. All these methods are called from user.action here. So all these actually here again uh, we are uh, adding opening the new add user add model from here with add user action, updating the user details here, get loading into model with update user action, and then finally handling the form submission here, user form submission to save with action. So here these are actions and so on these actions like list user already called to list the user, then we have a insert method implemented to insert the user detail and also update method is implemented here to update the user details and also delete method for deleting the user record. So all these functionalities are implemented here in user.php class. So now we have discussed the functionality here for exams users. Now we will check the login using the normal users who perform the exams. So here, when you log in with a normal user, you see the my exam and enroll.php. So first we see the enroll.exam actually here. We see the enroll exam.php. So here we have a enroll exam.php. This is the enroll exam.php file here, in which we have drop down list. We have a drop down list exam. So here we are creating the object of the user and exam and calling the method get exam list. So here we have a we'll check the get exam list here. Is the get exam list we are getting the select ID exam title from exam table without returning the output here. Actually we are storing to the as an option returning to display as a list here. Then, when we select here like exam, it will display you are already enrolled to this exam. Like if you enroll to this exam means you have not yet enrolled to the exam. If you enroll to this, you will perform this. So all these functionality actually when click on this, and then we have also file like enroll.js in which we are performing the functionality like here we have enrolled to this exam. When we submit this, the functionality is handled to enroll to the exam here. Like we have a functionality here. You can see we have a enroll exam and enroll exam and enroll.php. Like this is the enroll.php in which we have a list of all enrolls actually. So this is our so if you user underscore exam actually the JS file is here. Like when the change the value, like when we click on the enroll exam, then we are making the Ajax request and to the user exam underscore action. Actually here user exam underscore action. So here we have a user exam underscore action. So this is the PHP file in which we are handling the actions here. Like we have an enroll exam. So here we are calling the enroll exam method to the exam. So here we will check the enroll to the exam. This here we are inserting into the enroll table with user ID, exam ID to enroll to the exam functionality. So this is the enroll functionality. Then after enrolling, the exam is added to the my exam here list. So now we'll check the view exam.php here. So here we have a view exam.php. In view exam.php, we have a view exam listing. Actually, here we again loading the all exams into the jQuery data table. So here view exam.php, and we have a user exam JS again. Here we have a view exam, and we have a user exam. We have a user exam JS file in which actually here we have a user exam listing. So here on user exam list we are initializing the data table, and we are making a Ajax request to the user exam action with list user exam. So here we are making the Ajax request to the list user exam, and so user exam action here. We will check the user exam action here. So this is the user exam action. Here we have a list user exam actually. So here we are calling the method list user exam from the exam here. Here we are creating the left join SQL query, getting the user exam details and returning as a JSON data to display in jQuery data. So here we are displaying this. So this is the functionality. We are loading the user exam records. Then we have a button like view exam result. So the details display the process exam actually here. So we have a process exam. There's that process exam in which we are getting the exam like exam process update, exam process detail. All these methods are called from the exam. Like you can see here, these methods are like get exam info, load questions, get question answer options, update exam answer, exam results, get questions options, get exam total mark, question maybe all the methods related exam completed, exam process update. So all these methods are implemented here in exam.php. So now we are viewing the exam result. So it's a process exam here. So here is process exam on in which we are displaying the exam details that's already completed. Also, uh, when the exam is not completed and yet to start, so when we click on this, again process exam is called, actually process exam again called, if it is not completed, the process exam is started. Like when we start this started from here. So the functionality for the process exam is here. This is the functionality here. The all options are displayed, exams, and the process is continue to complete. So this is the functionality. Like you can see here, is still countdown is still running here to complete the exam. So this is the our exam functionality here actually. Uh, that we have implemented. So guys, you have enjoyed the tutorial. So don't forget to like and share this tutorial. Also subscribe our channel. Thank you.